known to be a good practicing Muslim brother. On the last day of Ramadan, actually on the day of Eid, he had an aneurysm and passed away. I still remember him because it was only 2 years ago, and unexpectedly perfectly healthy, 30 years old. So we still don't know, but we're hoping, inshallah, that we have a good chance, inshallah, that we will live through this Ramadan in less than 2 weeks. So we have to be prepared, my brothers. If we value and we understand this nature of this dua that always being made, may Allah give us a life to live in Ramadan, then we hopefully appreciate the value of the month of Ramadan. Why is it so important? Why is this dua is being made? Why do we look forward to it? Why Rasulullah said in the Sahih Hadith, if my ummah knew what Ramadan is, they would wish that every month is Ramadan. And yet, we have it's concern. Many of us are burdened by the difficulty of fasting and not eating and not drinking coffee and all that, especially in the summer. Luckily, right now it's in the winter, so it's even much easier, and the days are much shorter. But even, sometimes in the summer, people are always concerned and burdened and feel, stressed over it. But even now, many of us are feeling that way, unfortunately. Instead of appreciating, understanding the incredible gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He is allowing us give this month to His ummah. There is a night in this month that we all know, the Laylatul Qadr, the night of destiny, or the night of power, or the night of the different translations. Laylatul Qadr is the night where the Quran has been descended from the seventh heaven. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it so much holiness, so much sacredness and value that at the time of the Asbab al-Nuzul, the reason why the ayah was revealed, the Surah Al-Qadr was revealed, is because there was the Sahaba of Rasulullah radhiyallahu ta'ala alayhim ajma'in were sitting down and discussing the story of a man who lived prior, before Islam, who was believed in the old prophets, and he was a good practicing brother who worshipped Allah for 1,000 months, which is approximately 88 years. So 1,000 months he kept worshipping Allah, fasting every day, doing Qiyam al-Layl every night, always in state of worship for 1,000 months. And then the Sahaba said to each other, there's no way we can catch up with a man like this, who has done so much work, for so long, this much ibadah for 1,000 months. Then right after that, the ayah was revealed. The Surah Al-Qadr was revealed. Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. And Allah says that Laylatul Qadr alone is worth than more, khayrun, more, not equal, but more than 1,000 months worth of worship. This is a gift, especially for the ummah of Rasulullah. No other nation, no other ummah has ever been given before Rasulullah. So now this is again, the value that you get and understand what we are being gifted for, and we're being privileged to live through this month of Ramadan. So we have to have a plan, my brother. We have to have the determination and the motivation, the enthusiasm to have a plan and prepare and take advantage of every minute of this holy, sacred, and incredible gift month from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we don't have a plan, the shaitan has a plan for us, the nafs has a plan for us. If we're going to live, we're going to live the same lifestyle that we have lived throughout the year, going after entertainment and comfort and convenience, and going out and just having fun and wasting time, then it is a tragedy. It is the most tragic thing that the whole month of Ramadan passes away and we don't take advantage of. Rasulullah said, there's a famous hadith when he stood up on the third steps of the minbar, and the hadith is long, but I'll mention the part that pertains to the month of Ramadan. On the second step, he was saying, may the Arabic expression for someone who is extremely unfortunate, who was hit by tragic circumstances, is raghima anfu. Raghima anfu means may his nose be pushed, pushed in the dust out of humiliation and disgrace, that his nose, gets, his face goes down to the on the ground, and his nose is dirtied with dirt. So that's the Arabic expression for the most disgraceful and misfortunate situation, where someone is so much despair that he fell on the floor and his face hits the dirt. So he said, may his nose be dirty with dust. One of the three things he mentioned. One of the three is the one who has lived through the months of Ramadan and he did not get his forgiveness by the end of the month. So this is who is like that is someone who does not really appreciate and take advantage and plan and be determined to take advantage of this month. So the ayah from the Quran, from Surah Al-Baqarah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Or you who believe, the fasting has been prescribed for you, just like it was prescribed upon other nations before you, so that لعلكم تتقون, so that you may attain taqwa. So there's so much can be said, volumes can be written about this this ayah alone. And the beauty of the Quran, as we all know, that there's so much, everything is connected. All the ayahs are interconnected in the Quran. And let's examine the connection between this ayah and another ayah, also from Surah Al-Baqarah, when Allah says, وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى وَاتَّقُونِ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Again about taqwa, but Allah, what does He use the taqwa here for? He's saying, addressing us, for us, to those who believe, who have ulul albab, who have common sense, who can comprehend, who can have some sense of comprehension, of understanding. Those are the ones that are being addressed to. He's saying in this ayah that the pack provision for your journey. What is the journey that is meant for here? The journey to the akhirah. This is an inevitable journey, and it can happen and start any time. Once we die, that's it. We are going through that journey. We have to have a supply for that journey, provision. That's what Allah used. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words, not my wording or anyone else's wording. That tazawwadu, provision for this journey. And then He said, فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ تَقْوَى. The best supply you can pack, the best provision you can prepare for this journey is taqwa. Taqwa is being mindful of Allah. But many of us don't even understand what taqwa is. Taqwa can be again translated in different English words. Taqwa being revere Allah, being mindful of Allah, fear Allah. Have obey. All those meanings apply to the word of taqwa. But the best word is Allah used is the taqwa. Taqwa is the word. But many of us, and in the Quran talks so much about taqwa, so many ayahs, that address taqwa. But yet, many of us still maybe have this vague idea about what really taqwa is and how to get it. Because Allah keeps saying, provide, He's saying this ayah, pack this supply, provision for this journey, for the ayah, which is taqwa. And then He said, وَاتَّقُونِ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Then He emphasized again in the same ayah, all you who have common sense, who have comprehension, fear me, have taqwa. So now link this ayah with the fasting. Now He's saying in this other ayah of the fasting that this month has been prescribed to you, so you can get this taqwa. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So that you can attain this taqwa that He's saying in this other ayah. This is the best supply for the akhirah, for your journey to the next life. So this is how we understand this connection between the two. So in order for us to understand the value of this month, there is no time any time throughout the whole year. There's no season anywhere that you can ever live through better than the month of Ramadan, or not even equal to the month of Ramadan, to pack the taqwa that Allah is talking about. Because He's saying in this ayah that this is how you get taqwa, is in this month of Ramadan, by fasting, but fasting properly. Not just abstaining from food and drink, because the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are people who don't get anything from their fasting other than thirst and hunger, and those are the ones who don't really fast properly. They don't safeguard their senses. They don't fast their tongues from haram, their eyes from looking haram, their ears from listening to haram. They don't follow the sunnah of Rasulullah and they just, all they do is just abstain from eating food and from drinking and eating, but yet they break every law. They do ghiba, they backbite, they listen to music, they watch haram things, they look at women, they do all those things, and their fasting is nothing but thirst and hunger. And we don't want that, my brothers. So to get that the taqwa that Allah is talking about in this ayah, we have to do the fasting properly. And this is the fast that we safeguard our senses, and we make sure that we protect it with our lives, with our teeth. We hold on to this fast. I want to make sure that I get it the most acceptable, most possible, presentable fast to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a famous, I forgot his name, a Sheikh, a wali of Allah, is very pious, who was crying and sobbing, and he says, ask him, why are we crying? He said, because Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ, that Allah only accepts from those who have taqwa, and he didn't consider himself to be among the muttaqeen, so he was crying because of that. So for Allah to accept my fasting, it has to be wrapped with taqwa. And this is the taqwa, is that, again, the connection is, you do this fast properly with taqwa by fasting and safeguarding your senses, then now you have attained the taqwa. And now you have attained, not only that, you're packing in the best season. You know how you have sales here? You want to buy season during, Thanksgiving or whatever, Black Friday, and everything is your best, get the best bang for your bucks. How you can get, something for cheap and more value, right? For the season of sale or whatever. And the analogy here is that this is the best season to get the most amount of taqwa that you can grab and pack for the supply of the akhirah in this month of Ramadan. So my brothers, the plan with the determination, with the niyyah, sincere niyyah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now, Allah, oh Allah, I have less than 2 weeks left for this Ramadan that you have very graciously and kindly have allowed me to live through. And I am determined, oh Allah, to take advantage of this month and pack this for my akhirah, this taqwa, this supply that will last me for eternity, that will affect my lifestyle for eternity. My fate for eternity is affected proportionate to this amount of taqwa that I'm going to be attaining in this month of Ramadan. My brothers, we all work hard and we study hard and we do 2 jobs and we invest and we spend time and effort and money so that we can attain a good lifestyle in this dunya, this perishable dunya that is nothing but a flash that will go away. But we are not mindful of the akhirah, of what we can attain to prepare to get a good eternal lifestyle in the akhirah, inshallah. So this is how we do it, with this determination. Oh Allah, I am determined not to waste any time of this month of Ramadan. You have to have that determination from before it starts. Don't wait till, the next thing. If you don't do anything about your lifestyle, the way you're living, my brothers, the month will just go by. It will just, flash by you, and then the next thing, you are one of those that Rasulullah described, may their nose be dirtied and dust out of misfortune and disgrace and humiliation because of they've wasted so much. That's what will happen if we don't change anything. So the plan that I have is simple, my brothers. Simple plan. First of all, number 1, top priority is safeguard my senses, not just food and drink. Wake up for suhoor. Do the sunnah of Rasulullah. If you are able to wake up, give yourself an extra, only 10 minutes if you can, or 15 minutes, or whatever minutes you can, to do just 2 rak'ah of tahajjud, just 2 or 3 or 4 or 8, depending on your ability. But the minimum is 2 rak'ah at least. Do that every night before suhoor or after suhoor, before fajr. They have that plan. That only takes an extra few minutes with suhoor. That's it. And then, my brothers, you come here for Taraweeh. Taraweeh is the most beautiful part of the night of Ramadan. This is Qiyam Ramadan. This is titled Qiyam Ramadan. That's another name of Taraweeh. Qiyam Ramadan, according to Rasulullah, how is it that you do Salat Taraweeh and will count as Qiyam al-Layl for you on that night? Is by following this prescription. You come here to the masjid or any masjid near you, and you start with the imam from Isha. Isha is the most important. Isha and Fajr and Jama'ah are the most important part of the night, even more important than Taraweeh. But you come here with the intention of coming early, doing Isha and Jama'ah, and stay with the imam until he finish. Then this will count as one qiyam al-layl for you that night of Ramadan. And if it's done at the last 10 nights, and you've done Isha and Fajr in Jama'ah and Taraweeh, then you're all set. You've got Laylatul Qadr, my brother. Imagine Laylatul Qadr, more than 1,000th month of worship. That the Sahaba said, when Allah talk about that, when the Sahaba, were wondering, there's no way we can catch up with a man who worships Allah for 1,000 months, fasting every day, Qiyamul Layl every night, and Allah reveals this ayah. This tells us what we're talking about here. Laylatul Qadr, no one in his right mind would waste it. No one in his right mind. Can you imagine a brother, a Muslim brother, with his common sense, sitting down at home, maybe entertainment, watching TV or nonsense, and not coming to the masjid for Salatul Taraweeh, especially on the last 10 nights, and not getting Laylatul Qadr? Imagine the tragic loss. It's like someone is telling you, no analogy, but someone's telling you when they said, here, my brother, he get $100 million, and he say, no, I don't want them. You have to take them back, and you really need them, right? We need this. We are desperately in need of, Ya ayyuha alladhina antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. You are the one who are needy to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what we need, and we can't afford to waste that, my brother. We have to have this intention, this determination. Don't let nafs fool you. There's no shaitan in Ramadan. There's no other time during the year when there's no shaitan to influence and affect you. But why do we still, the question always comes up, why do we still do bad things even in Ramadan when there's no shaitan to influence us? It's because of the nafs. The answer is always this, because of this nafs, the desires, the lust. Because if I have قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها. The one successful is the one who tames the nafs like you tame a wild horse. وقد خاب من دساها, the one you let it have its way. And if it's used to have its way throughout the whole year, its way is against the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Disobedience, comfort, entertainment, fun, on the account of, while disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the saha. This is what Allah says, that He is in great loss, is the one who has done this to himself. If you have that, and the nafs is used to that, and is used to having fun and entertainment and following its desires and lust through disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is very unlikely that you'll be able to bring it back during the month of Ramadan, whether there's shaitan or not, whether there's iblis or not. The nafs is going to keep on the same track that it's been used to doing throughout the whole year. None of this talk that I'm telling you right now will have any effect, because the nafs is just so into wanting its need and its desires and its lust and disobeying Allah, and then the next thing you know, it doesn't there's no heed. Nothing will work. It will keep on the same track and waste another Ramadan until death comes. And Allah says in a surprise, it will surprise. Death comes. Allah said in the Quran, it comes as a surprise for you. It will catch you without you paying attention, unguarded, unprepared. And next thing you know, time has been wasted and life is gone, and then you're presented with your fate for eternity without having taken any advantage. So may Allah give us the ability to and address to myself first, to have this plan, this determination to take advantage of it. The recited, this is a month of Quran. We talked about this is the month where we recite the Quran as much as possible. We have to have in addition to Fajr and Isha and Jama'ah and as much Jama'ah as you can throughout the day if there's no work. And then we have the Taraweeh that counts as Qiyamul Layl. Of course, number one is safeguarding our fasting, and then recite at least one juz of the Quran, my brother. At least it takes like half hour if you're Arabic speaking. If you're have a trouble in Arabic speaking, it may take you an hour. But still, what is an hour in 24 hours? At the end of the month, you finish to do Khatam Quran. That also has to be there. You have to have this commitment that to finish at least once the Quran during the month of Ramadan. There are stories of people who finish the Quran every 3 days, even do Khatam Quran every 3 days, even when there's not Ramadan. In Ramadan, there's some stories of people who finish the Quran, do the Khatam Quran once a day, and we're not talking about those big high levels. We're talking about average person like you and me. So we have to have this commitment of a minimum at least once during the month of Ramadan to complete the recitation of the Holy Quran, inshallah. So may Allah, inshallah, give us all the ability to do that and take advantage and be among those who are forgiven, not among those who only get thirst and hunger from their fast, and be among those who will take, who will get Laylatul Qadr, the full rewards, and the weight, or the incredible weight on our scale of the 1,000 or more than 1,000 months of worship of Laylatul Qadr on my scale. May Allah give it to all of us, inshallah, ameen, and accept our fasting and make us among those who are forgiven at the end of the month, inshallah. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. استغفر الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله كما ينبغي لجلال وجهه ولعظيم سلطانه، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله تعالى ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون، واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا، واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، واحذروا البدع والمحدثات، فإن شر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. اعلموا أن الله سبحانه وتعالى أمركم بأمر بدأ فيه بنفسه، فقال سبحانه وتعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك سيدنا محمد البشير النذير والسراج المنير، وارض اللهم عن الأربعة الخلفاء الراشدين أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي، وعن بقية الصحابة وعن التابعين وتابعي التابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين، وعنا معهم بعفوك وكرمك وجودك وإحسانك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا، ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا، ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به، واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا، أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. واذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقيموا الصلاة.
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. قامت الصلاة قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Please make straight lines. Make sure there is no gaps in between your toes right behind the line. Complete the line ahead of you. If there's any gaps, complete it. I think it's an opportunity for tremendous rewards from Allah. Allah